welcome to the ClimateCare. It's another beautiful and it's Friday, and we're here again today to just discuss, you know, climate care, how it affects our families, and what have you. Yes, today our topic would be flooding after heat. How do we prepare for extreme weather swings? This is WFM 91.7, Nigeria's first female radio for women and their families. You are most welcome. My name is Susan Ihoma, the host on Climate Care. Today we want to focus on our environment, our health, and how climate issues affect our lives, especially for women and their families. And today we are discussing an important and growing concern, which is the flooding after heat. You know, we are looking at preparing ourselves because our weather now is actually unpredictable. You can't say what will happen. So we're looking at preparing for extreme weather swings. And we know that across Nigeria, we're experiencing intense heat waves, and just when families begin to adjust, the weather suddenly shifts to heavy rainfall and flooding. So you see this rapid change from extreme heat to intense rain is becoming more frequent in different parts of Nigeria. And it puts homes, health and livelihoods at risk because you are just grappling with the hot weather and all of a sudden you are on this other side where there is flooding and what have you. So the question is, are families prepared not just for the heat, but for the floods that often follow? Because climate change is no longer predictable and preparation is the key to staying safe. To join the conversation, you can dial our phone line 0700 0917 917, 09155 917 917. Do well to call the toll-free line 0800 123 917. You can also drop us a WhatsApp message on 07031 756 537 08155 917 917. Do well to follow us on all our social media handles at WFM 91.7 to watch us even on our YouTube channel. You are still tuned to Women Radio 91.7. The time is 27 minutes before 12 noon. And our topic on climate care today is preparing for extreme weather swings. Now, it's important that we prepare our families, our women, and our communities about understanding extreme weather swings. Now, climate change is causing rapid shifts in weather patterns from extreme heat to sudden heavy rainfall. After long periods of heat, it's been raining over and over, the ground becomes very hard and dry. So it makes it difficult to absorb water. This increases the risk of flash flooding when the rains begin because the soil is very hard. So when rain falls, it just keeps piling up and that could cause flooding. And again, it's also important to understand that we need to prepare our homes. If there's one thing we talk about on climate care, it will be preparation. We want families, communities, women, children, including the elderly, everyone to be proactive, to plan themselves. We don't want these things, to meet you unawares. We want you to prepare before the rains begin. So it's important that we take early steps to reduce flood risk. How do we go about this? Clear the drainage systems around your home, whether they are gutters, they are whatever, any channel to pass water, please ensure that you clear it. Avoid dumping waste in gutters and waterways. We take water, we take fizzy drinks, we take different things and we just dump. No. Ensure that you put them in your waste bin. Don't clutter the water waterways and the gutters, it will not help us. We will only help in increasing the probability of experiencing flooding, and we do not want that. It's also important that we strengthen our roofs and check for leakages. Don't wait until when we would see videos and pictures flying everywhere with people placing buckets in their homes. This is the appropriate time to fix whatever needs to be fixed. Don't allow it to start raining proper so that you secure your homes, you secure your families, and you don't have to be running helter skelter. It's also important to elevate valuable items, your certificates, whatever is a valuable item in your house. Please do not put it in a place where water will drain it. Well, sometimes you might even forget. It might just be your window that you forget and you rush off to work because you are late. When you do those things, rain might just come in from there, the breeze. You can't regulate how the rain moves. And so you find out that your certificates, your documents are all soaked up. And we do not want that to happen. It's also important that we prevent any major damage. For instance, I use a wheelchair, and so my ramp into my house was bad. So before the rainy season, I had already called people to come and fix it. Why? I don't want the rain to come and cause extra damage. And by the time I begin to, use that chair there, it might just scatter. And if I try to fix it during rainy season, no, it's not possible, because when they come to put the cement and everything and rain falls, chances are it will not get dried. So we don't want such things to happen. It's also important that we ensure to stay safe during flooding. Safety is a priority. You don't want to be caught in public. You could even stay under shade. Avoid walking or driving through flood waters. You don't know the level of the water. You don't know where you are going to, the drainage system in that area. Please, it's important that we begin to look at all of these things. Switch off electricity if water begins to enter your home. It might trigger things to begin to shock, and you don't want your children or whoever to want to take something and they get electrocuted in your homes. Please, this is very important. And it's important to also move to, if you need to relocate, please move to a place that is higher. Don't move to areas where it's flooded, so much water everywhere. You have to use rain boots to navigate. Taxis, your cab will develop faults within your space just because you are not taking the precautionary measures. It's also important that we keep emergency contacts so that we can easily reach out or call. Your ability to reach out to someone cannot be overemphasized. Do not think that, oh no, I'm okay, I'm good. No, please ensure to have, contacts that you can reach out to in case of anything. Why do we say this? Because flood waters can be dangerous and unpredictable. You do not know the flow. You do not know the tide where you are going or where you are coming from. And you might be somewhere and your children and other people are at home. If these measures are not put in place, you might be jeopardizing the before 12, and you can be part of the conversation on and Only Women Radio and their families. You can reach us on 0700 917 917, 09155 917 917. Call our toll free line 0800 1235 917. You can also do well to drop us a WhatsApp message. We want to know how the climate is treating you in your own area. We can also we also want you to be a part of the program if you would want to come and and join us in this conversation. You're a climate enthusiast or whatever. Why not? We would welcome you with open arms. Do well to drop us a WhatsApp message on 070-31756-537 and 08155-917-917. The time is 20 minutes before 12 noon. The program is Climate Care, and today we are discussing, you know, flooding after heat, preparing for extreme weather swings. We've been experiencing so much heat, and now we have moved into rainy season, and some places are already flooded. So how do we begin to ensure that our families are safe, you know, managing that? It's also important that we protect our health and hygiene after flooding. Very, very important. How do we do this? Flooding, all, you know, flooding leads to health risks, you know, such as contamination and disease outbreaks. We have to be very, very careful. So please ensure that drink treated water. Avoid drinking untreated water. No matter what you do, avoid drinking untreated water, please, so that you manage, you know, any waterborne disease. Maintain hygiene despite difficult conditions. I know it's not easy, but please, prevention is better than cure. We encourage people to ensure that they maintain hygiene despite difficult conditions. Again, it's important that we watch out for illnesses like diarrhea, infections, and even malaria. You know that when there is flooding, when water floods in a place, mosquitoes begin to breed. So we have to be very, very intentional. This is the area where there's so much coughing, there's so much sneezing, and people come down with malaria. You do not want to be part of those people who have not put precautionary measures in place. That is what we do on Climate Care. We try to enlighten the public, raise awareness so that we do the things that we need to do beforehand so that we have reduced illnesses during this season. Again, it's important that we seek medical health when needed. Please, when you don't understand your health, do not say, oh, don't worry, it's a minor thing. You know, Nigerians, we like to have our mini pharmacy in our homes. We like to just buy drugs and keep. Maybe it worked for Iyaima. You want to also do the same. No. What might be your problem might not be Iyaima's problem. Ensure to seek medical and informed professional advice whenever you find out you are not doing well. Now, it's also important that we look at having community awareness, and long-term preparedness. On Climate Care, we are looking at sustainability. We do not want it to be, a one-off thing. We look at ways that we can create this awareness for long-term preparedness. So flooding is not a one-man show. No, it affects communities. So it's important that communities begin to work together to keep drainage systems clear. Whether it's on a sanitation day or not, please ensure that you come out, keep your environment. If you live in an estate where you pay for some of these cleanings, please ensure that those who are saddled with this responsibility come out to do the cleaning. It is very, very important. And it's also important that we plant trees. Very, very important. Trees do a lot of things. They protect, they give us shades, we're promoting go green. Why not, if not? So it's important that we continue to ensure that we plant and have proper urban planning. Do not go and build a house where there is supposed to be a drainage. That will not help that community. You would have blocked a drainage system, and it will not be your problem alone. The whole community will suffer for it, and we do not want such things to begin to happen. And it's important that we also ensure that communities, different families, whether they can speak English, they can listen to us on Women Radio or not. It's important that we begin to raise this awareness so that everyone is carried along, please, including the elderly ones in our communities, our grandmas, the children, so that they even know that when it's raining heavily, don't leave school. Please, it's very, very important. We have seen children and what have you unalive due to flooding where water carried them away. And it's important that we actively, involve women and their families because, I mean, these are the home keepers, these are the ones who stay back, do some of these cleanings and all of that. They should be part of planning and decision making at the community levels. We cannot leave out our women and our girls, and their families in anything you are doing at the community level. No. If you even look at the sweepers, I know we have male sweepers, but majority of them are women. And so these people need trainings and retraining. They should be part of decision making because they interact at the grassroots. They know what is happening. And so they know the proper places that, if well managed, there would not be blockages. We do not want, drainages that will block our pathways. So as we continue this conversation every week, we want you to have this mind shift, from extreme heat to heavy flooding. It is a heavy, it is a clear sign, it is a clear sign of changing climate patterns. Today we are complaining, oh, heat, what do we do? And tomorrow there's this heavy rain and you are struggling with water all over, flooding. It's important that we know that these are also part of, the change in climate patterns. And these weather swings are becoming more intense, more frequent, and more dangerous. That is why we are trying to raise this awareness and call your consciousness as you go out every day, as you build your communities, wherever. In this era where people build houses, they build so many things. Please do well not to block the drainages. Do well not to dump your refuse at inappropriate places because you might say, no, I didn't drop it in the gutter, I just dump it on the ground. The sweepers will sweep it. When the winds start blowing, the winds will not know that you dropped it on the road. They will blow it and it will block, it will land in the gutter. That way, it will block our drainages. And we need to do our bit as a society. We also need to be accountable to our spaces. So as we move from being caught off guard, we also need to be prepared, from reacting to planning. We have always said this on climate care. We need to stop the reactionary method and start planning ahead. When you plan ahead, just like every other aspect of life, when you plan ahead, you will not be caught on fresh, you will not be caught on off guard. So you need to plan yourself, around the climate issues. And it's also important that we move from vulnerability. We can't keep crying foul every time. We need to, move from vulnerability to resilience. What do I do? How do I do to cope? Climate change is not a Nigerian factor alone. It's happening, in different climes. And so we need to build our resilience because protecting our homes, our health, and our families starts with awareness and our actions and inactions. So it's very important that we intentionally ensure that we are playing our own bit. We are giving our own support. Even when you want to plant a tree, do well not to plant a tree in maybe a drainage path, please. In as much as we talk about planting of trees, do not use it to block a pathway. And don't tell us, oh, you live 10 meters away from the drainage. You live 10 meters away. You are not planting a tree. You are not doing anything. You are just As long as where you live, they allow you to plant, please, even if it is in bags, in sacks. We had a guest some months back, some weeks back, telling us that you could even use your old abandoned jeans, you know, put enough sand, plant whatever you want to plant in it, you know, it will help you. It could even be your effery, scent leaf, whatever. Just have plants around you. Let's go green. I want to say a very, very big thank you for everyone who tuned in to Climate Care on Women Radio, WFM 91.7 this morning to listen to us. Special thanks to the producer, Rose Yusuf Kaisa, and executive producer, Tom Okewale Shonaya. Do well to join us next time as we continue caring for the climate one home at a time. I'm Susan Ihoma. Stay safe, stay prepared, and remain climate conscious. Thank you. Do have an amazing weekend and make sure you drink a lot of water. Don't forget to drink water and drink treated and clean water for you and your family. Have an amazing weekend. Cheers.